Hi, this is Heidi, episode 99, Anchoring Tool, Fear or Hope. Life isn't a spectator sport. Success comes to those who show up every day with a pocket full of courage, grit, and a little sparkle. I'm glad you're here. Hello, how are you, family and friends? Happy September 2021. I'm putting fall decor up. We're buying apples like crazy from our local orchards. I love fall. Okay, not as much as I love summer, but this is seriously the best season here in New England. Please continue to like, rate, review, and share Hi, This is Heidi with friends and on social media. I love hearing how many of you are using these concepts to be more anchored and calm in your life. When one woman changes, an entire family changes. Today, I want to share an anchoring tool or question that I ask clients at the exact time that I can see they need to check in with their emotions. They'll be explaining either something they might say to someone else, usually they're teenagers, or maybe it's a conversation with a coworker or boss. And I ask them, are you doing this from hope or fear? And since I teach my clients to be aware of what's going on in their bodies, they check in and they feel what emotion they have right then. And we coach and pivot to what they intentionally want. So I want to explain to you how this works, why understanding if our thoughts and emotions are anchored in fear or hope is so important, and how this simple tool will help you show up in a way that feels better to you. So real quickly, let's talk about fear and hope. They are both emotions that are motivators. We do or don't do things when we're feeling them. Fear is more powerful because fear motivates us to protect the things that are already in existence. Fear takes less mental work and it creates a false sense of power and control in our lives. So fear tends to be a default emotion for a lot of us. Hope, on the other hand, takes faith, and faith is harder to create than fear. Hope is us believing something that isn't true or available today. So we have to believe in what can be, in what is possible. And all of this takes courage and more mental work. Fear focuses on what could go wrong. Hope focuses on what could go right. Fear is rooted in scarcity, where hope is rooted in abundance. Fear keeps us stuck. Hope moves our mind to the future and growth. Now, both emotions are helpful human emotions. Fear is very useful when we need to protect or defend ourselves. It's a survival emotion, and we don't want to get rid of it. It's just that because fear is so easy for our minds and bodies to create, we often will get stuck staying there in that fear. But it turns out that hope is what would benefit us so much more and those around us. And y'all, our emotions are contagious. We don't create what another person feels, but we do all have some emotional BO. And people can see and smell our fear when we don't keep it in check. Let me give you a few examples now of how this works so it makes more sense. A few months ago, a client was explaining a worry that she had about her young adult daughter and her living situation. There was no current problem, but my client could see a possible future problem. She asked me, should I discuss this with her when she comes to visit? I stopped her and said, is this discussion coming from fear or hope? And since she's one of my all-star clients, she could get still in her body, and she said, yeah, it's coming from fear. Fear of something, quote, going wrong and wanting to avoid it. So we talked about the fear of the worst case scenario, which really would result in her daughter learning some important life lessons. Hope, though, looked and felt different to her. Hope was her thinking, my daughter is capable of figuring this out. Hope helped her see how her daughter had already figured out some tricky situations. In this case, hope motivated my client not to say anything about the potential living situation. Now, being quiet won't always be the result of hope. As parents, we want to guide our children. Hope would have fueled a different tone of voice than fear. Hope would have fueled comments that were supportive and revealed confidence and belief. And our teenagers can feel either fearful or hopeful energy. Anyone can. It doesn't feel good when someone we love is projecting fearful or worry-filled and anxious energy at us. I was on the receiving end of this energy for many years when my parents, who only have experience in a certain industry, would question me and my husband about his job and if it was stable and if he liked it. Their lens of what is stable is very limited. Their tone of voice and scared and hesitant questioning for like 10 years didn't project confidence. Now, we weren't offended by it at all. My parents are super supportive. And they also believe only certain professions are the most stable. I know their questions came from love, and they're firm believers that worry is love. It's just that I found that energy to push me away more than draw me in. So our fearful or hopeful energy matters. Another example, these past few weeks, my oldest has been packing and getting ready to go to Europe for his first semester of college. He can only take a small amount of stuff with him. Before I made any suggestion to him or comments, I checked in with myself. Am I asking or saying this because I fear something will happen, or am I hoping and confident he can handle what happens? I was mostly able to change my energy I needed to change because it was important to me that I am projecting confidence and belief in him, not fear that things might go wrong. On the daily, I'm asking myself before I say anything, is this coming from fear of something going wrong, or am I full of hope that he will figure things out and this will be a fantastic learning experience? When I got to hope, I felt more open, much calmer and anchored. Now, of course, some steps in life will involve a little fear. We're all humans. We have human fears. We aren't robots. We just need to move fear to the back seat. Fear cannot be the emotion in the driver's seat. We want hope and confidence and security driving and just allowing fear to come along. I recently shared with a large group of young women how when I was about to promote the launch of my podcast 2 years ago, how I was terrified and nauseous. I had normal human fears of what people would think and say, but when I saw the fears and I knew I could handle them, I could pivot to hope and confidence, hope that I could handle the criticism and also confidence to help others. Fear still came along, just like a little fear is coming along as our children go off to college. But fear isn't in the driver's seat, and it isn't fueling our conversations with them because it isn't the emotion we want to project. My daughter last week told me she's running for student government. I saw fear pop up when I wondered what she'd say in her speech. I saw some fear wondering if it would be a good experience for her. Then I asked, what does hope look like here? I want to talk to her and discuss it with hope that she learns from it, that she does her very best. I want to project hope and confidence she can handle any of it, and hope that she'll ask us to help her practice. Hope in this case is literally us believing and having faith in something that doesn't exist. It's the energy of helping her move forward. Now, one last example, a client shared with me that her teenager was doing drugs and she had started drug testing him each week. At first, fear was behind the testing. They had a lot of negative consequences if he tested positive, which he did. Then, as she re-anchored in hope, which included a new belief that he was learning from this and confidence that he could change, her hope fueled new positive rewards for him passing the drug tests. So the exact same solution, but hope fueled a more positive interaction with the child and drew the child closer to his mother. He asked to be tested each week because she spoke to him different when filled with hope. The fear previously had pushed him away. Now the hope was building a new relationship, and when he didn't pass the test, her comments and tone did not reflect insecurity and fear. She would work hard to anchor her head and heart in hope and love. Her belief in him helped him reveal ways he needed his parents to support him and help him stay clean. It's been a great situation to witness, all because a mother was willing to do the hard work to move from fear to hope. In closing, remember, our brains find what we tell them to look for. It's our confirmation bias. So if we intentionally look for reasons to have hope in both ourselves and those around us, we will find evidence for that. The same with fear. It takes little to no time to find reasons to fear, but y'all, we can do better. It will take a little more work, and we're worth it. Our families are worth it. They need us to model the hope and belief first. Okay, that's it for this week. If you would like personalized, weekly private one-on-one coaching to help you anchor your emotions and create more hope and confidence, sign up for a consult call at HeidiBenjaminson.com. A confident mother is the greatest gift to her family, not a perfect mother. Our families want us to feel confident, anchored, and calm. I can help you uncover this version of yourself. Have a great week.